In this episode, I was invited for an exclusive chat with Her Royal Highness Princess Lamia of Saudi Arabia on AI, personal branding and climate change. This is the Sonya Barlow show hosted by Sonya Barlow.
The Royal Highness said that it was more progressive and they're like, what do you mean? I was like, listen, we have to stop westernizing cultures. It's probably a really good starting point. So you've just launched the second version of your AI platform.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I'm very happy with the success. I'm grateful for sure for the team and the minds behind that. As you know, it's been a year now to launch the first AI reporter that tackled the deforestation and forestation. And I want to share with you the great news. We generated more than 50,000 reports. We have interactive users on the platform, over 500,000. We need to do more. People are really interacting. People really want more. And we run like a very small survey asking, what do you expect more from Atlai? And that's why we actually upgraded the platform and the technology. And now it's Atlai 2.0. It's also deforestation and trends such as rain, wind, temperature. Any user in any country in the world can benefit out of this platform, and it's literally it's generating report by itself, and it sends. And this is, of course, it should empower a policymaker, activists, and public as well.
I read some of your stats. It said that 20% of deforestation contributes to annual greenhouse gases, and it's increased by 4% in 2021. But the interesting thing that it was there is your project is there to create agents of change.
Absolutely.
I really liked that terminology, because what I'm taking away from that is it's my responsibility to help the world. Absolutely. Is that the kind of message that you're trying to share?
Yes, we're trying to give data sets to have an informed action. So your action, it's upon data, upon satellite imagery, upon a lot of reports that you can generate and you can dissect. You can even have it on your notification whenever something happened, that it will alert you. And putting in mind as well the amount of wildfires happening around the world. It's huge in 2023. I don't remember the exact number, but what we knew about from the media, it's not even 5% of what's happening.
We've just had one in LA.
Of course.
And that is the one that I think brought a lot of attention to the world, myself included, because now the celebrities were being impacted. And we know anytime a celebrity is impacted, it's a serious point of concern, because of the media or the way it's portrayed, right? And then you take a step back and you think, what should I be doing to making this world a little bit better? So as a user, are you saying that I can download this platform and use it?
Yes, of course. Anyone can download it, and you can select what type of report you want. You can have all the facilities that it's included in the platform, or if you're interested in certain subject. This is exactly was the reason, because we want to create change makers.
Yes, exactly.
And you don't have to. And I know the climate change word, it's very famous as a word, but how many data centers that you have an access to, that you can get out this information as easy as the platform of Atlai.
Playing devil's advocate, there is one argument, especially as we're at Leap and they're talking to us about the cost of building an AI business.
Yeah.
So there is the cost to the environment and the data centers, but what you're suggesting is that's a necessary cost so that we can create the research and reporting so we can really tackle this problem.
Atlai is free of charge.
Atlas free of charge. And that's a part of your wider philanthropy project.
Absolutely.
Because I remember from our conversation last year, look, we talk about agents of change, and I always find it really interesting, and I spoke to your team about this, is you don't have to be doing this work. You're choosing to use your power and your credibility to create change. So that's actually something I really took away from you last year. It was about respect and credibility and trust rather than doing it for the fame or the fortune. You're an agent of change yourself. But before you you are. But before you even got into this wider climate space, there'll be people listening saying, what are the small steps we can do right now to help on this journey? If we're not ready for the reporting, if we're not ready to download, what are some day-to-day activities that we can do to support climate change and to reduce the impact that we are producing into the world?
Recycling.
Recycling.
It's the easiest. It's something that you can do. You just can change your habit. Small changes in your habits. It can really can affect. And just back to why we're doing what we're doing. As you know, this foundation. It's led by His Royal Highness Prince William.
Yes.
And this is his vision. What we're trying to do, we're making it happen with the best way possible. And entering AI, this is something, it's a must that we start using AI for good.
I'd love for you to dive deeper into that. What is the role of AI in philanthropy and humanitarian projects?
Oh my God, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like a savior for us, actually. There is a lot of things that can give us a channels and a fastest way to create awareness, to reach beneficiaries, educate. We just seen one of the startups here in Leap. It's a virtual schools, and I just took their information. It's a virtual schools, and now they're in 5 countries, and we will work with them to make them in the 193 countries that we're in. There is a lot of things. It's an AI teacher, and it's everyone is afraid from AI.
Yes, absolutely.
But well, you always have to look to the positive side of the story. Yes, AI will replace a lot of jobs, definitely. But in the same meantime, it will create maybe double. You just need to know how to use this tool for philanthropy, for reaching people, for education, for health. There is a huge amount of benefit out of AI, to be very honest.
And how do you learn about AI? How do you keep yourself educated? Because it's a fast moving space. And if I'm being really honest, I'm in Saudi Arabia, and I kid you not, the first day we left Leap, and so many speakers, including myself, were thinking, this is not how we thought Saudi Arabia would be. The innovation is evolutionary.
Yes.
There's a lot of investment going into a space to create human first projects.
Absolutely.
But saying that, that's a lot to learn and a lot to take in and a lot of different hats you're already juggling, right? What are some basic tools that you're using to keep yourself educated in this space?
My daughters.
Your daughters. I mean, your daughters came up last time too. You're teaching them failure, and now they're teaching you AI.
Yes. No, seriously, because they're learning it in schools. Here,
they are really interesting.
Yes, they do. I really, not all of my knowledge from my daughters. I took a lot of courses, 5 or 6 courses online relevant. But practicing, I always go back to them if I stopped in some places. And this is how they go through their day.
Yes.
It's AI. For us, it used to be Safari.
Yes.
To ask, no, it's for them.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
What is the most interesting question they've asked an AI bot that you can remember?
I have one. She's very mainly equations, mainly presentations for their humanity. It differs upon the situation.
I have younger siblings, and one of our animals, our dogs, got sick. And look, the vet is saying something. They sense checked it using AI. The doctor is saying something like, no, we can't 100% believe the doctor anymore. Yeah. We want to make sure that the information that's there is validating what this expert is saying. And that's how I found people are using it.
That's very serious, by the way.
Yes.
Because I maybe I'm wrong, but I think no, doctors still should have this. You trust in their word more than an AI. Well, yet we don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know. No, and yet you're using it in your...
As you said, it's really fast.
It's very fast. And it's awesome to see, look, in a year, you've progressed so much. You're using it for your good, for your philanthropy, for your deforestation projects, but also you've made it very much accessible for everyone. And accessibility is something that I keep reading around the work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
But earlier you touched on careers and AI taking job roles. You are busy building one business, and then you've gone and become a CEO of another business. Talk to us about that. Why have you done that? Is the real question.
Because people need to grow.
Very interesting.
I believe till the last day in your life, you will learn that was the last breath that you took. For me, I always look into how I can grow my knowledge, my expertise, and I graduated from the media sector. I graduated marketing, advertising, and PR, and minor journalism. Media is a very big part of my life. taking the position as CEO Rotana, it was going back home, I would say. But I would never, of course, the philanthropy is my soul.
Absolutely. And how is AI impacting the future of media?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Because that
No,
is
this
that is a changing landscape.
I know there is, I know what's happening in States about the AI
Yes.
and the media scenery and production and what's happening in LA, but in this part of the world, no, we're very happy with it actually. Really, we're really happy with all the AI technology and tools that can be used in production, post-production, even the props. It's not about a green screen, no more. No, it's about all of those tools that can really enhance the quality of the product. And it's very exciting, putting in mind that Rotana, it's the biggest owner for content in the Arab world.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine that in Rotana we have 500 hours of 500,000 hours of content, 30 billion minutes of content? Can you imagine how crazy and what we can do with this?
No, but I would just take a step back and ask, how are you encouraging people, if you're encouraging people to actually include their data in these data sets? Because the problem, when we touched on this briefly last year, was AI can only be really useful as a tool if the data set is as diverse and accessible as it can be. And individuals are often scared of sharing their data or filling out their surveys or putting their information into these, kind of research pools. So how can we encourage individuals to embrace AI and share their information versus kind of stay away from it? Because that means the end product might not be solving the real problem.
Absolutely, it differ from a person to another. It's you have to answer the 4 W's and H. Why you want that person, to encourage that person to work with. So you need to understand why you're targeting those people or this country or this community, to solve what exactly. So there's certain areas that we are working. It's not an AI driven based basically or fully, but it's a part of the project.
Yes.
Enterprise with Ashoka. So for them to make it easier for them to do the presentation, their design, modifying their pieces, they're working smartly with AI, but at the end of the day, you need to start giving them the reason for them to be encouraged to work on AI. And also, moreover, in our sector as philanthropy, AI and technology, it's actually giving us a lot of options and a lot of, I would say, creativity for us to reach and to provide more services around the world.
And you see that. And as we start to wrap up, going back to your point, which I love, the terminology of agent of change. You are an agent of change. You are creating change, be that through now your media, your kind of media status as your own profile, be that the CEO of a media group or kind of, the lead in Alwaleed Philanthropy. How do you keep that balance between being an agent of change with a media influence, but also being a philanthropist? Because that seems to be quite a struggle for many of us.
I believe the media is the vehicle to deliver a message and to change a community and to change an idea or a misunderstanding or whatever. It's all via media. It's all via channels. It's the only way for you to create this change. And honestly, me and you, we've been adopting a lot of things that we saw in movies, whether on ourselves and our behavior, how to tackle certain thing, how to talk, how to walk. It's all about media. It's all about, your senses. You see it, you hear it, you felt it, and that's it. And I think it's very much they're aligned. They're actually each one. It must go through the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as somebody who is very inspired by Saudi Arabia, what is your advice for, let's say, entrepreneurs like me, professional women who want to not just start businesses here, but really understand the culture and contribute to the success of the tech, the innovation, the AI world that you all are building?
The most beautiful thing about our kingdom, it's open for everyone. It's very easy to get the information that you want. People will actually fight to help you. they will run to help you without you asking. So it differs in which sector that you want as an entrepreneur to start, but there's a lot of support engine in Saudi Arabia, and as you saw down all the startups and the full suite for the amazing work they're doing. So we would love to have you, and inshallah, bi'idhnillah, I have a feeling next year we're going to have the same sit down, and we're going to have it in your house in Riyadh.
Thank you. God willing, I definitely think the same. So far we've touched on the great work you're doing with Atlai, point 2, to combat deforestation, the work that you are doing with your newfound role at Rotana Media Group to really help media be an influence of positive change.
Absolutely.
And obviously with Alwaleed to make sure that we are focusing on being agents of change, which I can honestly say that the words and the conversation we had last year was very impactful, hence being here again. Is there anything that you've missed out that you would like to share that maybe we haven't covered?
I just wanted you to know that this country, we have nothing, we don't have an excuse but to succeed. We have everything and the full support, whether from the government, from the private sector, from the philanthropic sector. 67 of its population is under 28. And they're hungry to succeed. They're hungry to build their country. And at the end of the day, media, the Saudi story is not yet been told. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of stories, very inspiring stories. And there is a lot of dreams that we want to capture it on the screen. Inshallah, you'll see it soon.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.